I got some bad news for this next batch of articles. This is bad news for people who own modern day consoles, aka the Xbox Series, the PC, and the PS5. But it's good news for PS4 niggas. Oh my God. I mean, technically, this is bad news for PS5 owners, but this is really good news for PS4 owners, because PS4 niggas is gonna use this shit and be like, see, this is why I don't buy this shit, bro. This is why I'm never gonna give it up. All PS5 consoles will eventually require maintenance. The PS5 liquid metal degradation can reportedly impact all systems. Among the technical solutions Sony implemented in its PS5 to enable the system to reach maximum performance without issue is a liquid metal cooling solution, which helps keep temperatures down when the system is pushed to its limits. This cooling solution, however, led to significant issues, as the liquid metal can leak and leave dry spots on critical components, resulting in various malfunctions. Although Sony has made some changes for the PS5 Pro and some of the latest base model consoles, the liquid metal cooling issues can still affect systems, potentially even all of them, according to a technician. Translation, you've heard it here first. We could have a potential red ring of death situation on our hands again. On Twitter, a modern service technician, Madi Casper, shared a new report on the PS5 Slim system with less than 1.5 years of life, which has been impacted by liquid metal issues. In this case, however, the liquid metal leak wasn't caused by the system's position, but by application quality and degradation over time and temperature. As such, the service technician believes all PS5 systems will eventually require maintenance, regardless of the model and its position. So there's a few things to take away from this. From this technician, what he's saying is, because for those unaware, it's recommended you don't stand up your PS5. That can cause liquid leakage and fuck up your PS5. Make sure you're laying it down. Mine is laid down like right there. So he's saying it's not that. He's saying the main issue with the PS5 is that it's just poorly made and that they didn't apply the liquid cooling correctly. And that could cause issues with a lot more PS5s in the future than we would like to admit. But then the last thing I want to take away from this is, at the end of the day, you do have to keep in mind, this is just one technician's opinion, and that's why it says the service technician believes all PS5 systems will eventually require maintenance regardless of model and position. It says he believes, he's not saying they will. So I'm saying take this with a grain of salt. But I wanted to bring this article up to be fair. I don't like to give PS4 niggas a win. But I also want to make sure people are aware. Don't be surprised if your shit does break down, and be prepared. I hope y'all got warranties on shit, because something could happen according to this dude and the way that he's looked at it. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm leaning towards, I believe he has no reason to lie, and his assessment could be correct. Because to be fair, assessment aside, we have to look at the fact that the PS5, it kind of was rushed to market. It was developed during the COVID era, and you have to keep in mind there was a supply chain shortage back then. So who knows how parts were being moved around and being handled. Who knows how things were being rushed. You had less people in the factories working during COVID. If you remember that, when they were building the PS5s, so they had to probably work around people's shortened hours. People might have been tired and they weren't assembling these PS5s correctly. There's a lot of different reasons why, going all the way back to COVID, why he actually could be correct. And this is why 2020 is one of the worst years on record. Now, granted, I have a base PS5. Mine has still never had no issues. I got the Pro. Mine has still never had no issues. But what I will say is what he's saying does make sense. Don't be surprised if something happens and there's just mass breakage of the PS5. Basically, eventually you got to replace the thermal paste type shit. Well, no, he's saying that the liquid cooling is leaking into the parts. It's not just about the thermal paste. It could fuck up your shit. And I hope Sony does some type of deep dive into this statement, because they need to offer extended warranties. That's how you get around this. If y'all want some advice, if anybody from Sony ever sees this, think about extending the warranties. And PS4 niggas, listen, this is not good news for the PS5, but I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, see, this is why I don't upgrade. It's not worth it. I don't see it. Nah, you wasn't going to buy that shit anyway. Shut the fuck up, bro. You wasn't going to buy it. Be quiet. Be quiet. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. I feel like this shit is still loud. I hate this fucking YouTube player, bro. There we go. Somebody in the chat, wasn't the CPU issue? I don't know if it was an issue. Liquid metal is not as good as thermal paste. It dries out. He's not wrong. That's why most cooling components do 15% liquid metal and the rest thermal paste. Yo, shout out to Simple Jack in the chat. That nigga's a fucking nerd putting us on. That nerdy ass nigga just said, well, actually. But no, I appreciate the insight. I didn't know that. I appreciate the insight. So that makes sense. So that's why I said I'm leaning towards what he's saying is probably true. That nigga nerdy as hell, bruh. I didn't know you were supposed to lay it down. Yeah, that's why they're referencing the position in this article right here. The liquid metals leak wasn't caused by the system's position. That's because it came out maybe like a year ago. The best way to position your PS5 is lay it down. So if you didn't know that, understand when you stand your PS5 up, you are taking a risk with your $500 console or $700 console that you got if you got the Pro. I would advise you lay that bitch down. When I read that art, because I used to have mine standing up. When I read that shit, I put my bitches laying down now from now on, bro. I don't play that shit, bro. I'm not trying to buy another one, bro. But anyway, just trying to keep people in the know. Trying to keep people in the know about what's going on. If you didn't know, now you know, nigga. Next piece of news. Tomorrow. I don't even know if this video, if you're seeing this on Hokage Highlights, this might come out days later, this video. But tomorrow, the day in which I'm streaming, the next day will be the Game Awards. And some drama around the Game Awards is coming out. A trailer at the game, according to this article, a trailer at the Game Awards cost developers up to $1 million, says a new report. Is Jeff Keighley, aka the Doritos and Mountain Dew Pope, is he adding classism to the gaming space, making it hard for people to see their games, get their games be seen? And you know what's funny too, before we even read this article, one of the things that I've been arguing on this stream, this article kind of backs it up. I've been arguing, if you don't follow my content, that gaming is in a great space from a creative standpoint. There's something great to play for every genre. Gaming is not in a great space from a greed standpoint and people using microtransactions and abusing that and stuff like that. But from a creative standpoint, there's something for everybody if you have an open mind. The biggest problem and why some people don't feel this way is a lot of people are not well read and there's not proper advertising out there. And the great example is Concord. Sony left Concord out to die. Regardless of the quality of the game, if we're being 100% fair, Concord never had a fighting chance because PlayStation did not actively promote that game, state what made it special, and then they allowed a tweet to go viral that showed how many people were playing the beta, which was like 2,000 at the time. The internet saw that tweet. They allowed that narrative to be created that this game is dead and this shit is trash, and now the game instantly died because people are going to look at that. Because to be fair, these games are $70, although Concord was like 40, I think. They're not going to want to pay. People are just going to assume it's ass without doing any type of research. So I think one of the biggest issues in gaming right now is I feel like studios and publishers are spending way too much money on the development, creating these massive open world games that are $200 million, these live service games. And then what happens is they don't have the budget to promote their games. And then they sit there and bitch and complain because you and I don't know about the shit. And then it also creates a vicious cycle, like I said, of you have a portion of gamers out there that think gaming is dead because they don't know all these amazing games exist. Now, where am I going with this? I think this article corroborates what I've been saying because I just said one of the biggest problems is a lack of advertising. And look at the barrier. It costs millions of dollars to get it on the fucking Game Awards. The news comes from a new Kotaku report, which states two anonymous sources who told, those anonymous sources, by the way, were indie devs, right? This fucking asshole, Jeff Keighley, piece of shit. You want $1 million? Who told the outlet that a 3-minute trailer now costs over $1 million to be featured during the Game Awards hosted by Jeff Keighley. That's double the price of what it reportedly cost developers to be featured at an opening night live, another show run by Jeff Keighley, now that that's the game's business. And I'm not going to sit here and talk shit because I get it. To be fair to Jeff Keighley, for those unaware, he pays out of his pocket for this show. This is his baby. So this is why the Game Awards is full of slots for game announcements and advertisements, because he has to make that money back. So I get it. It's a business. He's paying out of his pocket. He doesn't have like a big corporate entity backing him. I think a happy medium, if I could give a solution, if Jeff ever sees this, if he ever puts the Doritos and Mountain Dew down, a happy medium for this is get your dollars, get your money, right? But then maybe have reserve 2 or 3 discounted spots for some indie developers. If it's costing $1 million, offer some discounted spots for $50,000 for just a couple. And if you want, You can pick the games. Like they just, as long as they're good, like you can be selective about it. You can curate it, but I think you should just let people get their shit off, bruh. Need tiers for this shit. Just to be fair, because like I get it. You got to make your money, right? You said, really? Yeah, this is something that he does. He's not backed by anybody. This is something he did out of his pocket. If you go back and look at it from like 10 years ago, it was much smaller, but that's why it's gotten bigger and bigger. Although I take that back. So it did start with him paying out of his pocket and he's grown it over the years, but maybe this year I would say it is corporate. Because to be fair, they did announce today, a couple weeks ago, that you can watch it on Amazon Prime. Because he struck a deal with Amazon, he's probably getting some corporate money now too. But I will, at bare minimum, I know for a fact that the Game Awards had a grassroots movement. But anyways, two video game publishers told Kotaku that although they were not familiar with this year's rates, it sounded in line with what they'd expect from the previous years. The Game Award on Amazon, really? Yeah, so they're streaming it on Twitch and YouTube for free. And they're all, if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it on Amazon. And apparently there's going to be some exclusive announcements on Amazon. So I'm thinking I might, because I have Amazon Prime, I might pull up the Amazon stream when we react to it tomorrow, if I remember. The Game Awards last year amassed 14 million views on his YouTube channel, meaning that as of a rough estimate, which is doubtful, that'll be approximately a $70 CPM. Whether the rates are worth it for developers and publishers is a question only they can answer, but it's known that Jeff Keighley likes to offer free placements for major announcements and some indie titles here and there. So unless more sources come forward, it's somewhat difficult to gauge if such placements are worthwhile. Oh, they're saying it does exist. Okay, I stand corrected. I was unaware of this. I wonder how many there are then. He might need to, especially because these shows be like 2 hours long. I ain't gonna hold you, Jeff. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I would rather you give more free placements to dope indie games and just cut out the music portion of the show, nigga. Cut it out, bro. I don't want to hear. I mean, maybe y'all disagree with me, but I really don't want to hear a nigga play The Legend of Zelda on the cello and shit. I don't want to see a nigga on stream dressed as Link with a Minish cap on, with an ocarina blowing into that bitch. I don't want to see that shit. I don't care. And I love video game music. I love it. But I could do without it at the show. Like, we could cut 30 minutes right there and give it to the game developers, man. Show some love. Because like I said, one of the biggest issues is advertisement. It's a lack of visibility for these people. I've always made the argument, are you the best fighter at the tournament? Or are you the one that has the money to get to the tournament? The best fighter in the world might be in some small village in Kenya, but doesn't have the money to get to the Taekwondo tournament or some shit like that. If you follow what I'm saying. The same shit with this gaming shit, bruh. There could be a dope game out there that we are unaware of, but they only had the money to produce the game. They don't have the money to show it. And, you know, you got the platform, so fuck it. Why not? Nigga just made my stomach hurt, but I fully agree. Matter of fact, we know niggas is not the best at the tournament. Because anytime Black Americans decide that, and specifically, anytime Black Americans decide we want to do a sport, we take that shit over. If more Black Americans had the resources to participate in sports like, say, tennis and gymnastics, bro, I know Tyrone in the hood, that nigga was doing backflips when we was 7. Shit you never seen before. If he had the proper resources, he would be the greatest gymnastic in the world. But a lot of the stuff that, an example is pickleball. Pickleball is expensive. A lot of stuff that they be inventing, new sports and shit, it's really just a way to gatekeep you at it. Y'all not ready for that conversation, man. Y'all not ready for that conversation, bro. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all got a cousin. Y'all got man down the street. Nigga doing all types of backflips at 10. We seen that shit already, bro. We ain't impressed at the Olympics. That's beside the point. It's also worth pointing out that $1 million figure, despite being eye-catching, is for the longest running trailers, with lesser runtime trailers costing less. Opening Night Live 2025 was reportedly approximately $500 for a 3-minute ad, $150 for a 30-second, and $210,000 for a 1-minute ad. So assuming the rates for the Game Awards are double, that should be around $300,000 for 30 seconds and $420,000 for 1 minute. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Come on, Jeff, man. Do better. Do better. Don't forget the prestigious high schools are rigged. Real shit, bruh. Real shit. We about to see some bullshit. Man, I hope we see some cool shit. So that's the news. What's going on? The drama around the Game Awards. I wonder if we'll see this game intergalactic. What What else I got for you? Arrowhead founder casually mentions that Helldivers 2 roguelite mode is in the prototype phase and changes to the game are fundamentally coming, or it changes the game fundamentally, they said. So we have new content potentially coming to Helldivers 2 for any fans out there. Helldivers 2 is a deep engrossing co-op shooter with no shortage of things to do, but I wouldn't say no to additional modes that shake up its mission-based structure. According to Arrowhead's founder, such a mode is actively in the works for Helldivers 2, so it is confirmed it's coming. Hell, we have a prototype of a roguelite mode. It changes the game fundamentally. They casually wrote on a Twitter post, users pitching his idea for an endless mode, as if he didn't just spill the beans on what would be the biggest shakeup for Helldivers 2 since launch. You're going to go live for the Game Awards just like last year? Yeah, I'll be live. I'll probably be live. The Game Awards on the West Coast starts at 4:30 PST, so that's 7:30 EST. I'll probably go live like 4:15. I'm gonna play tennis in the morning and then grab lunch, and then I'm gonna boot up the stream. Playing tennis, I gotta beat somebody ass in tennis tomorrow. Well, that's exciting. While most of us haven't taken to social media to tell Arrowhead about it, I'd imagine a lot of fans have also wondered what an endless mode in Helldivers 2 would look like. I reckon anything resembling Gears of War, old Horde mode, or a Halo firefight would fit nicely, though based on Piltis comparison to roguelikes, we can assume this prototype includes modifier or power-ups. So if you never played a roguelike, basically what they're talking about is they're going to put a game mode in there where there's probably going to be rounds, and every round you'll get like a new power-up if you survive and go longer. It'll be a combination, it sounds like, of like Gears of War Horde, and if you survive the round, you'll get like a new power-up that changes the game, like fire on your gun, or maybe you run faster or something like that. Modifiers, basically. They said, hey, we have a... That shit disappeared. What the fuck? We have a prototype of a roguelike mode. It changes the game fundamentally. So there it is right there. How long this will take to come out, I don't know. You think anything will get shadow dropped? I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not too in tune with the Helldivers 2 community, so I don't know. I can't really speak on this too much. I'm really just covering this because I know a lot of y'all like the game, just making people aware of it. And also, it's a slow news day. Horde mode in Gears of War is so good. Yeah, I feel like Horde mode in Gears of War is a great example of J. Cole's bar. So suddenly my old highs become my new lows. Meaning, when you first accomplish something, you get a crazy high. But once you start to get used to it, like once you start getting money, like the first time you get money, that shit is crazy. But once you start getting used to getting money, this shit is, you know, it's like whatever. Y'all wouldn't understand. But that's not the point. The point I was trying to make is, let me stop. So Gears of War 2, when Horde mode came out, I remember we played that shit to the AM in high school, man. We used to get a high off of that shit. But nowadays, when a game has a Horde mode, it doesn't really do anything for me, just because it's like you've been there, done that. Was that a J. Cole stray? No, that wasn't a J. Cole stray. I was quoting him. I was bigging up. Bro, what's wrong with you niggas, bro? I was bigging him up, bro. I was quoting him. You a clown. So the fact that it has roguelike elements in it, I think that's what would make this mode hit. But if it turns out to just be like a Gears of War Horde mode, I don't know if that will really hit like that. Anyways, just letting y'all know. We got a first look at Supergirl. I think the trailer is supposed to drop tomorrow. I saw a TikTok. I actually have the book for this. I am waiting. So it's going to drop June 26, 2026. I'm probably the week before this movie comes out. I have one. So this movie is based off of Supergirl, the Woman of Tomorrow, I believe. I have the book. I'm going to read the book like a week or two before the movie comes out, just so it's like fresh in my head. It's sitting on my shelf. That is my plan. The Woman of Tomorrow. There we go. Yeah, I bought the hardcover of it. I couldn't resist. It was so fucking fire. Did you cop Absolute Madman 15? I did. I'll probably read it tonight. I got it. I just haven't read it yet. The book is so good. I heard the book is fire. But I'm saving it before the movie comes out, so it's like fresh in my head. So that way I could be in the movie theater where like, well, actually in the book, I can turn to my go, well, that didn't happen in the book. If Paramount's hostile takeovers, don't wish that. Yeah, that's how I felt about Helldivers. I played so much Horde mode in high school. The game ain't hit for me. Tight shit. Is this James Gunn? Yeah, it's James Gunn. James Gunn is in charge of everything, I believe. Did you read 15? I have not. I just got it, but I haven't read it. I usually only read on the weekend. I'll sit down and just read for like a few hours and catch up on like various stuff. So now I'll get to it when I get to it. They're complaining about the tagline on Twitter. Truth, justice, whatever. Supergirl lands in theaters. What's wrong with the tagline? Is that not what from my understanding, what this story is about is her finding herself. And she's basically a crash out in space. And by the end of the movie, she's probably gonna get it together. So truth, justice, and whatever. Is that not the vibe? Is that not the vibe of the book? That's why I'm excited for the movie too, because she about to be a crash out. It's a different director though. We'll see how this plays out. Man, I don't want to see this. LOL is gonna be corny. After Superman, I hope it's good. R.I.P. to Jeff Garcia, the voice of Sheen and Jimmy Neutron. He passed away at 50, man. He passed away at 50. R.I.P. I saw this on the timeline. I was like, yeah, this is random as hell, bro. This is my childhood right here. Sheen was one of my favorite characters in Jimmy Neutron. Yeah, Ultra Lord. I just wanted to highlight that and say R.I.P. to my mans. She was funny as fuck. He was great. This show was great. I feel like Jimmy Neutron was part of that last great era for Nickelodeon cartoons, but then that could just be the old head in me. I don't know. Do kids fuck with Nickelodeon nowadays? I don't know. I don't hang out with kids like Dr. Disrespect. I don't know. Brain blast. All right, let's check out this Avatar. Let's check out this Avatar trailer. So the new Avatar trailer for season 2 dropped. Let's see what this joint hitting for. Season 2, the introduction to Toph. I hope this shit is good, man.
Everything.
I seen Dr. Disrespect streaming the other day. I hope you told the algorithm, do not recommend this channel anymore. Keep that shit out your algorithm.
Is vibrating. All around us.
Hey, how old is he? He looked different. He had a growth spurt. How old is this little nigga? Where's his face at? Yeah, he looked like he had a growth spurt. He looked like I don't want to say a grown man, but a young man now. He definitely had a growth spurt. This is why they probably rushing it, bruh. Yeah, I'd argue he looks too old already. He looks about, he's 16 playing a 12. I was just about to say he looks about 16, 15, 16. I was about to say, yeah, he already looks too old. They probably gonna rush through that season 3 when he turns black and he gets the hair. They gonna have to rush through because the puberty hit my man's hard, boy. And his voice probably gonna be changing and shit.
The world is turning. There is a secret life beneath us.
Big Azula. Got Azula's friends, okay.
We're all connected.
Boy, it's gonna be mad deep. I have to stop the fire. What the? Was this show good? It was mid, to be honest. She looks all right though. It's Toph. She doesn't look young though, but I mean, like, the outfit looks okay. It looks like they're upping the budget on the special effects. It already looks better than last year based off the stuff that they're showing. I just hope that they don't lean into this being a spectacle, because that was my issue with the first season. It was too much leaning on the concept of bending, the cool powers of the world. And I feel like that's what the live action version missed about the cartoon. What made the cartoon so great is there were so many layers to the show that the fighting and the bending was just like the icing on the cake. It was the concept of how you treat people with disabilities, like how they dealt with sexism, political espionage, fucking learning the concept of when to be passive and when to be aggressive. Like that was Aang's whole thing. The concept of loss with Uncle Tyro, Iroh. Yeah, genocide. There's so many different topics. And then on top of that, you got amazing art and like action and stuff like that. And I feel like with the live action show, it was just kind of like, I'm the Avatar and we're bending. And I'm just like, oh, redemption. It deals with redemption with like Zuko. Like, you see, I can keep naming all these amazing themes that the show deals with. I hope they lean into that, bro, more. Because they fucked it up. Like I said, if they fuck up this season, I'm not watching season 3, bro. But I mean, the special effects look better. I just hope that's not all that we getting, bro. Avatar and Teen Titans, that they hit heavy on life lessons type shit. the live action treats their audience like they're stupid, in my opinion. Yeah. Somebody in my chat said they do that nowadays because of TikTok. Apparently, a lot of people watch Netflix and movies, and they're also scrolling on their phone. That made me feel old because I didn't know people did that. That's not to say I've never been on my phone while watching something, but I don't stay on my phone. You know, I might check something real quick and then I put my phone back in because if I want to watch something, I'm gonna lock in, right? But from my understanding, a lot of writers, they write shows like that where they spoon feed them because a lot of people are doom scrolling. They call it a second screen. They got a term for that shit, nigga. I'm about to Google that. Is that real? Second screen watching. Look, it comes up. What does second screen only mean? The second screen only is a display setting and window turn. No, that's not it. Some other shit. Second screen. Meaning. Oh, it comes. It's an actual definition in the dictionary. A mobile device used while watching television, especially to access supplementary content or applications, aka scrolling on TikTok and IG Reels. It's in the fucking dictionary. I didn't know this. Yeah, so like they're not lying then. Apparently the reason why a lot of writing in television and movies has been dumbed down because a lot of people cannot just sit there and watch something. That's unfortunate because that's going to be detrimental to the arts. Man, y'all got to get off y'all phones, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Real shit. I know that shit fucks people up, that doom scrolling. I mean, I've read articles. I'm gonna put myself out there on some real life shit. So like over the last 2 months, I've switched to working out in the morning. I'm usually up at 6 in the morning and I'm in the gym by 7. And I've been consistent with it, right? Before I was struggling to get out of bed. And what I realized was, and you read about this, right? Like how about short form content is frying our brains, that dopamine. I noticed I would go to bed early, but I just could not get out of bed without lingering. Okay, well, the point I'm trying to make is I noticed before I was going to the gym in the morning, the reason I wasn't getting out of bed instantly is because I would get on my phone and I would scroll a little bit and that 20 minutes could turn into an hour. And even if I only sat there for an hour, I noticed once I finally got out of bed, I was lethargic. And I've noticed over the last 2 months, the difference between me getting up and going in the gym and not is me staying the fuck off my phone. So what I do now is when I wake up in the morning, I get up and I just go straight to the bathroom. I take my shit. I know TMI. That's what I do. I'm a morning shitter. I take my shit, wash my face, brush my teeth, and I suit up and I go hit the gym. I drink a bunch of water and I hit the gym. So I can attest firsthand. I had the self-realization like a couple months ago, like TikTok was fucking with my brain. It was making me very lethargic. So you might want to try that shit. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Y'all niggas be pooping too. Everybody poops unless you read the other book. Everybody poops but you. Like shout out to Family Guy back when that shit was fucking funny, bruh. Too much blue light. Yeah, I need to try that. I'm not gonna lie. I'll tell you this much. You know the funny thing is, I've been consistently hitting my cardio after my lift in the morning. I feel so much better working out in the morning. The hardest thing about working out in the morning is just getting up. But once I'm up and I'm in the gym, after I do like one set, I feel really good. Like that blood keeps going. It's just like shaking the ice. It's like coming like aim coming out of the ice. But yeah, try it. Try staying off your phone in the morning. Just get to work, bro. Because I realized that shit was frying my brain, and it was making me unmotivated too. I already bought a wireless charger for my nightstand, so eventually I was forced to put. It was to the point where I was thinking about buying. There was this thing I was seeing on TikTok. It was a product. It's like an app that you can buy that blocks your. It's a card with an NFC chip in it, and you tell and you can download the app and you tell the app what apps you want to block, and you cannot open them unless you hit it with that NFC chip. So like you would have to go in your wallet, pull out the card, and tap your card against the phone in order to open the app. I was thinking about getting that for like social media. Specifically TikTok, because Twitter's toxic. I don't be on that shit. I really don't be on Twitter or Instagram. But that TikTok algorithm is really good. So I was thinking about buying that, and then I got to the point I was like, wait a minute, bro. I'm a grown ass man, bro. I'm not gonna buy that shit. I'm gonna just willpower this shit. Fuck that shit, bro. Nah, you like me for real? Everybody's like that. There's studies that have been done on it. When you watch short form content in excess, it fries your dopamine receptors because these algorithms are designed to feed you things that please you. The thing is, we as humans are not supposed to be absorbing so much content that constantly pleases us because it fries your brain. So your brain is constantly sending dopamine out to your system. when it's supposed to trickle slowly out during the day. So what happens is, if you wake up in the morning and you consume that stuff, you've used all your dopamine for the day. So by the time you get up, you're tired. You're talking about damage from phones reminds me of this tweet. So hey, just try fucking going cold turkey. That's what I did. That's something for the fuck it, bro. And now I feel good. It's like an afterthought for me. I just get out the bed and go now. It's routine for me. Shit literally affects your brain chemistry. Yeah, at 35, I can admit that shit was fucking with me a little bit. So it concerns me because people who are not fully mentally developed as a kid, it's like, what is it doing to them? Like, goddamn. Like, at least I'm old enough to have the self-awareness. Like, yo, I need to change it up because it's making me less productive. What the fuck is it doing to a kid? Let me read this. Me watching some high fantasy shit, I would simply not be corrupted by the magical object. If it actively harms you while you don't just put it down, idiot. Me receiving psychic damage 23 hours data from my phone. What the fuck? Yeah, the youth is cookies. Yeah, because they lack that discernment, unfortunately. I really only watch long form content. I watch long form content when I'm eating like lunch or like I'm cleaning up around the house. I'll put something on the TV and listen. People do the same thing with snacks. They put them in the places. Yeah, and don't doom scroll at night. I put my phone down and just go to bed. I turn on the rain shit. Black screen with the rain for 10 hours. That shit puts me out like a nightlight.